Good morning, guys. I am so excited to be here. I'm actually here on two platforms, so I'm trying to figure out how to make it work. I'm here on Facebook Live on my business page, Colleen Markham Conscious Mama. And then I'm also live on YouTube on my YouTube channel. So hoping I get some viewers there. I've got some viewers here. Good morning, you guys. So I'm excited to good, Kiki's on YouTube. Awesome. Excited to see you. So Kristen, Lori, Stephanie, thanks for joining me on Facebook. I am so excited to share. I'm kind of kicking off a couple new things. So you may have noticed I changed the name of this video from Fizzy with Colleen to Wake Up Call with Colleen, primarily because people don't know what the heck a fizzy is. And I'll tell you, it's amazing, but that's not, the point is bigger than that, obviously. It was going to be coffee with Colleen, but I don't drink coffee. So that's kind of the play on words. At least I don't drink it every day. I certainly drink it sometimes. So Wake Up Call with Colleen, I figured would be pretty appropriate because it's morning, but also because the topics that I talk about are intended to help us all wake up, because that, my friends, is my journey. That's why I'm here. This weekend, I was listening to a book on a digital book, audiobook, and the author asked the reader to take a minute and think about the word that most, opens your heart. What are you here to bring more of into the world? And for me, she rattled off a couple things: peace, wisdom, play, adventure, joy, love. And mine was awakening. So for me, when I'm not aligned with that purpose, things get hard. So let's bring it back to what today's topic is. It's Money Mondays. So I've decided moving forward to spend Mondays, because it begins with M and because it's a topic that means a lot to me, on the topic of money. And one of the reasons why I talk about money specifically is because so often we falsely believe that it is money holding us back from our dream life. And I'm telling you without any shred of a doubt that that's bullshit. However, for us to shift our awareness away from that place of scarcity takes a lot of attention. And that is why moving forward, will do Money Mondays to talk about this topic. It is so important. So the thing that I know I was brought up believing was that the harder I worked, the more money I made. So if I work longer hours, more money. If I, the more I sacrifice, the more I gain. The thing is that the only thing that's happening there that's positive is you're starting to believe you're worthy of money because you're working so hard. So yeah, then it comes. Okay. That's the only thing that grinding does for us. We can skip all of the grind if we can learn to trust ourselves and trust that we are deserving of the money that we need to live the life that we have always dreamed of. The universe has your back. The universe is literally conspiring to make your every dream come true. But we think that it's all in our hands. We think we have to be the ones to dictate how it goes. So we cling with white knuckles to this false belief that if I am making 6 figures, 7 figures, then I'll be good enough to feel worthy. And then life will start to get good. And then. But that then keeps moving out. If you do make 6 figures, if you do make 7 figures and you're doing it from your heart and you want to share that, you want to brag about that, go for it. But if you are doing the work simply to get the money, it's going to fall apart. I've seen it almost firsthand. I've seen it where people who claim to be based on their hearts are really there just for that dollar. And I understand why, because again, money does allow for new things to flow into our lives. And when you feel like you are, on top of the manifestation of money, it feels good. So by all means, go for it. Make your money. There's nothing wrong there. The issue is when it starts to feel like it all rests on your shoulders and it's only about that last dollar. I loved one of the analogies from The Wealthy Lightworker was from Demetria. So if those of you who were able to watch that interview, she talks about, oh my God, I love that interview. I was like crying through most of it. I don't know if you could tell on the recording. But one of the things that she talked about is that money is like, circulation. It's like your bloodstream. And it's like red blood cells going to the parts of your body that it's needed. Our bodies just make red blood cells and circulate them where they need to go. It's always in equilibrium. There's always enough. But what we think is that we need to grind to create that flow of money. Our bodies aren't grinding to make red blood cells and move them throughout our bodies, right? And that's the microcosmic level. And bringing out to macrocosmic, money does flow where it needs to be. One thing we do that I know I do is we expect money to come, or abundance, right? Because it's not just the dollar sign, it's, resources, same thing. Money and resources are the same thing. So we think that our resources, our money is going to come from one place. So we fixate there and we stop seeing all the abundance that's around us right now all the time. And we're focused so much on, if I can just get my business to 6 figures, if I can just get my, that one piece of money back from this person who owes it to me, then. And what I've learned through the past couple of years is when you believe and you trust in the power of your own magic manifestation, money will show up exactly when you need it. And sometimes when it's not there, it's because this isn't what you're meant to be spending money on, right? But when it does show up, it comes from the most unlikely places. I was, my ex and I, when we were trying to figure out our situation moving forward, we knew we had a lot of debt. And the debt, I love, and I've said this before, I love the idea of debt as a love loan from the universe. I'm not encouraging people to go into debt, but if you know that you're spending your money on things that are making your heart expand and feel happy, and you're able to, trust in that, go for it. Because I'm telling you, things can shift overnight and that debt can be wiped out when you least expect it. We started to realize that with this debt and with some other things we wanted to pay for, my son's preschool tuition, trips, things like that, we were looking and we were like, oh, we need to manifest $100,000. And that was when an opportunity fell into my lap. And it was no coincidence that the person on the other end of the line said, this is an opportunity for you to make $100,000 with your coaching business. And I acted from that place rather than from the place of service. Luckily, I was able to pull service through, and I never lost touch with why I'm really doing this work. But I went to this experience and I learned a lot from it, but I've had to wash my hands of that, group, if you will. And I don't want to get into too much detail there, but because I saw that the way that they did business was about that bottom line. And walking away was hard to do, but the way I see business, the way I see money is that if it takes me a little bit longer to get there, but I never lost sight of my personal mission, then I'm good. And I can rely on myself. At the end of the day, no one else decides whether or not we are successful. We are the only ones that decide that. So I took my power back and I recognized that now, moving forward, as long as I'm following my intuition and following my heart, I will be successful. It might take a little longer. But here's another beautiful thing. That $100,000 that we were like, running around in our minds, rolling around in our minds, selling my home, which is what we're doing, will provide that money. So isn't that magical that here I thought it had to come from this place in my life, and instead I was literally sitting on it the whole time. And I understand that we all have personal histories and backgrounds and family, beliefs that hold us back from manifesting wealth and abundance. We have to each face those things. If there's something in your psyche that's telling you that money only comes when we are working our butts off, then you'll be right. Money will only come when you're working your butt off. And this is exactly what the transition that needs to happen is. So I'm excited to, work with people one-on-one around these beliefs, because my shifting has happened in only the past, I'd say, 4 months. And to no longer feel the stress of money is the most beautiful gift you can give yourself. But that doesn't mean that, it shows up like everywhere. I'm not wealthy in that regard. I'm just trusting, which means that I will be wealthy because I'm trusting. You have to sometimes act before the evidence shows up. You have to trust before it becomes obvious. And to take that leap of faith and to just believe that the universe has your back, God has your back, as long as you are aligned with your mission, okay? So as long as you are aligned with what it is that you were put on this planet to do, that all the resources you need, all the money you need, it will all show up. I was put on this planet to help awaken people. And that is why I do my videos. These videos, I don't get paid for them, but it creates a trust with you, my viewers, and that can create opportunities for me to continue to serve you in bigger ways that I can then, be charging for. And that is part of this whole magical, exchange. It follows my personal path, and we all have that. So, speaking of which, why not? That's part of what the Conscious Mama Cocoon is going to be offering people, is an opportunity to discover what is your thing that you know that you are meant to bring into the world. What's your purpose here? What's your mission? What makes you feel the most alive? And how can we take a look at your life overall and determine, where are you living this truth and where are you denying it? And working together over the course of 4 months to bring that into your life more, and to really get aligned on top of that mission. Because when you are aligned on your mission, the things that used to bother you, the things that used to make you crazy, they might still be there, but you recover so much faster. And the same thing goes for money. I used to be so stressed about it, and it used to just keep me down all the time. And now I recognize that it is always there for me when I need it. Resources always show up when I need them. And that creates the most beautiful sense of peace. And I just want to share that with the world. So I'm going to work on putting together the Conscious Mama Cocoon sales page today. So if anybody wants access to that and to see how I'm going to break it down for the 4 months, shoot me a message. And, I'm so excited to be launching like these daily themes, because these themes are so important. And so I'll see you tomorrow for True Life Tuesday. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Love you all. Mwah.